We see teams enter the FBS by way of the FCS all the time, but rarely do we see the death of a Division I program. Well, in 2014, it was announced that UAB would be terminating their football program in order to save money, and just like that, they were done. But in 2019, the Blazers are coming off one of their best seasons in program history, and the program was saved. In today's video, I will once again be joined by the one and only Cole Adams, and if you haven't already checked out his channel, I strongly encourage you to do so. He's got a lot of cool stuff coming your way, and I know I'll be on his channel for a few vids in the next few months. We will be talking about the death and rebirth of UAB football today, and I am super pumped for this one.
Hey guys, it's Cole. If you are new or coming from my channel, I encourage you to subscribe to Scott's channel. He has some of the best sports content on YouTube, but he needs your help to grow, so make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Now let's get started. In order to talk about the death of UAB football, we have to go all the way back to the start. The birth of Blazer football really wasn't that long ago, as they started with a club team back in 1989, and within 2 years they had a real organized team on the field. Their first head coach was Jim Hillier, and the Blazers joined the NCAA as a Division III independent school. They played their first game in program history against Millsaps College, and that resulted in a loss. 2 weeks later, the program experienced their first career victory against William & Lee, and the Blazers had officially taken the first step to where they are today. After going 11-6-2 in their first 2 seasons, UAB decided to move up to the FCS level, and the NCAA was going to decide their fate. Schools weren't allowed in multiple divisions, so they had no chance but to promote the Blazers all the way to the FCS, which is exactly what happened. They played their first game against Troy, they lost the game, but it was another milestone for the young program. The following year, they played their first FBS team in Kansas. And by the 1994 season, Hillier would resign as coach, and the Blazers would need a new head man. Who was going to be their new head coach? We'll look no further to Oklahoma offensive coordinator Watson Brown, and he led the program to new heights in his first year. They went on the road and beat an FBS level North Texas, on the road 19-14, which was the first time this had happened in Blazer football team history. In 1996, they became an FBS independent team. And the first ever game was going to be against Auburn. They would go on to get shut out, and the Blazers would finish their first season 5-6. Jumping forward to 1999, the program was then invited to the Conference USA by Commissioner Mike Slive to join the league, and then would become part of Conference USA. In 2000, Brown would take the team to new heights again, as they knocked off LSU in Baton Rouge, and that would make the biggest and most monumental win in school history. In 2001, they would recruit arguably the best player in school history, and former Atlanta Falcon and future Hall of Fame wide receiver Roddy White. Roddy would become one of the best wide receivers in college football, and he helped lead the team to the Y Bowl his senior year. That was the first time the Blazers had been to a bowl game, and it was huge for the program. After 12 years at the helm though, Watson Brown decided to resign, and he would then take the Tennessee Tech job. Now believe it or not, the next 3 options for their head coach were very interesting. The first was offensive coordinator Pat Sullivan, but it didn't end up going to him. And then their second option was actually Jimbo Fisher, but they didn't want to interfere with him potentially leaving the program and choosing another school, so they eventually decided on Georgia offense coordinator Neil Callaway as their next head coach. The Callaway hire was a questionable one, and he led the team to a school record low 2-10 record in his first year. The Callaway hire did not work at all. The man went 2-10 in his first year, and in 5 years at UAB, he went 18-42, so he was fired. The next hire at head coach was Garrick McGee, and he was the first African American coach in school history. Sadly, it just didn't work out. The team went 3-9, then he went 2-10 in his second year, and he would eventually leave the UAB program to join Bobby Petrino's staff at Louisville. So now that you know all the history, now it's time to talk about the true downfall of the UAB football program.
What am I supposed to look him in his face and tell him? What am I supposed to do about that? And you telling me because the numbers didn't look right? Because the numbers didn't look right? And you go home, sleep in a comfortable, big-ass house, but it's okay. That's why I'm 27 years old. In a week, 27. It's 18-year-olds in here, 17-year-olds. What are they supposed to do? Some of these cats came from 3,000 miles away to play here, to be a part of this.
So yeah, former Jacksonville State head coach Bill Clark had come in after McGee, and he immediately turned the program around. The Blazers had become bowl eligible for the first time since 2004, but none of that mattered. The school had begun to struggle financially over the years, and their lack of on-field success led them to hire a company to come in and reevaluate the school and their athletic budget. They decided that it would be best for the program to cut out football, and that is exactly what they did on November 30th, 2014. It was the darkest day in program history, and the entire college football world was upset. But many think that politics played a huge role in the decision. Many think that the Alabama Board of Trustees didn't want UAB football to succeed, as they shot down their proposal of a new stadium, new facilities, and denied them funding for many things over the years. Some think that the board wants to preserve the Alabama Crimson Tide's role in the state, and they didn't want them to have any competition. Not sure why anyone would ever think that UAB could threaten the Tide's dominance, but that was said to be a factor in the decision nevertheless. The Birmingham community was heartbroken, and the players were left wondering what was next for them. There was a lot of public outcry, and players had to figure out what they were going to do next. 66 kids decided to transfer, and their best player was running back Jordan Howard, who would end up transferring to Indiana before he would make it to the NFL. After a ton of public fundraising and donors, the program announced that they would be returning for the 2017 season. The program was technically saved, but most of their players were gone, and they didn't even have a 2015 recruiting class, so they're basically going to have to start from scratch. Bill Clark was still the head coach, and he had a lot of work ahead of him, but 4 years later, the program would be in a really good spot. With only 24 kids left and just a few coaches remaining, they would have to piece the program back together one person at a time. They brought in a 50-man recruiting class that included 40 junior college kids, which also included Last Chance U running back DJ Law. They didn't want to be like SMU and play a bunch of freshmen, so that's why they hit the junior colleges really hard. They signed 19 kids in their 2017 class, and now they're ready to take the field again. Despite all the rust and the lack of on-field experience, the Blazers had a terrific 2017 season, as they went 8-4 before they got an invite to the Bahamas Bowl. They ended up getting matched up with Ohio, and they lost the game. This was huge for the program, and this was also the first step in their eventual relevance. In 2018, they were picked to finish third in their division, and they definitely lived up to the hype. They won 9 of their first 10 games before they lost to Texas A&M and Middle Tennessee. They were selected to play in the Boca Raton Bowl, and they beat Northern Illinois to finish the season at 11-3. Their next step was going to be to win their conference. They did take a step back in 2019, as they went 9-3 in the regular season, before they lost to Florida Atlantic in the title game and number 20 Appalachian State in the New Orleans Bowl. Bill Clark has now officially saved UAB football, and they've been one of the best teams in Conference USA over the past 3 years, and I expect them to continue to elevate their status. They even recently got a commitment from a borderline 4-star wide receiver recruit by the name of Malachi Bennett. This may be their biggest commitment in school history, and it shows that UAB is not only a good football school, but also a cool place to play. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please be sure to smash that like button. Let me know what you think of the video down below, and what program I should do next down in the comments section. And also be sure to subscribe, and help me reach 7,000 subscribers by the end of August. If you're still here though, check out my other collab with Cole Adams about the downfall of Indiana basketball, and all my other college football videos. I hope you guys have a great day, but until next time, peace.